Is a 25 years old without a car unattractive? My dates always included drinking, so I wouldn't drive anyway. You don't need a car in downtown Montreal. You're fine. In Montreal? Not embarrassing. Laval? Brassard? Yes lol. In an ideal world, nobody would care. But yes, there will be some people that see it as a downside. However you may feel about it. You're overthinking it. It's unattractive to constantly ask for rides. It's not unattractive to be able to handle your life without a car. That said, there are always going to be women that won't go out with you because of it. The same as virtually any trait. I would say that it doesn't exclude enough women that I would want to date in the first place for it to matter. I think it depends on where you live. In a place with good, dependable public transportation? Nah, you can still function as an adult without needing someone to drive you around. In a place like where I live where you need a car because the public transportation sucks. Yeah, it's a deal breaker for me. I don't want to be driving you everywhere all the time. Don't sweat it. I live in Montreal too, and maybe two of my friends own a car. Having a car in Montreal can be so irritating and impractical. If you don't need it, there's no reason to put up with that. And it's very normal here not to have one. I'm sure most girls don't care. And I personally wouldn't date someone who cares about stuff like that. Just don't make your lack of a car a nuisance for other people and it'll be fine. You've said you live in a walkable area, so just focus on that when discussing your car situation. Maybe if you live out in the country it would be more of a problem. Simply because you need to drive everywhere. But you don't. Just schedule your dates all a walkable distance away. Say you'll meet up there. Invite her to pick you up as an exciting exchange of gender roles and expectations. Hell, ideally you should meet someone who lives in your community and shares your lifestyle if you're really worried. But really, as long as you don't make dating you into also being a part-time taxi service, then you're fine. I'm 38. I would never assess how attractive someone is by what kind of car they drive. Anyone who would judge me for not having a car is someone I would never want to date. If you don't have a car because you don't want or need one, great. It's a depreciating asset and a waste of money. That money is much better in an investment paying you interest. If you don't have a car, despite needing one, because you're broke and can't afford one, it is unattractive. That's it. I remember dating in Montreal a couple years ago and meeting with men who did not own a car just like me. It makes for a great date with someone who shares the same values as you. I find that people who don't own a car are a bit more minimalistic, and I like that. Of course some women are gonna judge you because you don't have a car to pick them up. Emo, you should not date these women. Good luck op. Just think of all the expense and hassle you're saving by not owning a car. It's different if you have a license versus if you can't drive at all. You don't want a burden of driving to be placed on the other person all the time. If you eventually want to go on a road trip or something, you can rent a car, but you can't rent a license. You can say you choose not to drive because public transport is sufficient and you don't like contributing to climate change. I'm 29 with 2 cars, a motorcycle, and a whole ass house. Still no GF. Meanwhile, I have friends from high school that are drug addicts with no car and they live on their GF's couch. If she's judging you based on vehicle ownership, she ain't the one. You live in a major city, it's entirely reasonable to expect you don't have a car. I'm so jealous lol. If they care when public transportation is so prevalent, then they're probably worth moving on from. Anyway. No. A person asking if something that has nothing to do with who they are is unattractive is unattractive. Focus on yourself, not your things. It's normal to not have a car if you live in a big city. If you at least know how to drive and have a license, I can't imagine it'd be an issue. For what it's worth, I'm 30 and I've never had a man pick me up in a car for a date. I thought all young people in cities used public transit. Unless you're driving the bang bus, I don't think it's gonna make a difference.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicuricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.